Local search myths your business should be aware of so you can start saving money and time and actually getting your business to the top of Google Maps and Google Local Search. Local search myth: rank tracking is the most accurate way to measure your business's performance on search. Rank tracking is at best a simulation of where your business ranks, but it is by no means an accurate way to see if your business profile is actually generating more views and more impressions for real users on search. So if you're really trying to actually figure out, are your strategies being successful? Are you reaching more people? Rank tracking is the worst way to do that. In search engine marketing, and especially in local search, rank tracking is industry standard for measuring performance, but it is a highly flawed way to really understand if you're actually reaching more people. The reason is very simple. No two users see the exact same search results. You and I could be sitting in a room together and search for the exact same thing from the exact same location and get different results. Maybe you have visited different businesses than I have. Maybe I have liked certain types of businesses that you've never even been to. And so personalization, device history, your location history, the location and the distance you are from a business changes the search results. The time of day even changes the search results. And so ranking is a very flawed way to actually measure whether or not your business is reaching more people, which is the actual goal of any local search campaign. So although rank tracking might be able to inform you and prove to you that, yes, we actually rose in position for this specific keyword, it is a terrible way to actually validate whether or not your business is genuinely reaching more people. For that, you have to look to Google Business Profile Insights to actually look at the number of impressions, which will correlate to your overall reach, as well as the number of views your business profile is actually generating. And most importantly, you need to think about engagement rate. You need to think about how many people actually end up calling your business, requesting directions, or going to your website and filling out a form or making a booking or an online appointment. Because those last pieces are the things that actually correlate to revenue. And if your business's goal is to rank higher, what you really mean is that you want to generate more customers, right? And so rank tracking is the absolute worst way to validate if your business profile or your business is actually generating more awareness, more visibility, most importantly, more revenue for your business. And that's why rank tracking is my number one local search myth, that it is the most accurate way to measure your performance. It is the least accurate way to measure your performance. Local search myth: paid search and Google Ads impact your organic rankings. That is completely false. And if you think about it, why would Google reward advertisers with more free traffic? Wouldn't they want to do the opposite? At fundamental, it's not a good business strategy of Google to do that. But more importantly, we've tested this and we have made extensive research into this topic. We have no correlation, positive or negative, that shows us that spending money on Google Ads and using Google Ads to promote and to sponsor your business listing in search results has any long-term or short-term impact on your organic rankings. Google Business Profile Insights are not affected by any paid search campaigns. We have seen clients go from spending $0 to hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars, and then turning those ads off, and their Google Business Profiles Insights are unchanged. In order for there to be correlation, it has to be both positive and negative. And I've never seen in 10 years any client who spends any amount of money, whether it's thousands or millions of dollars on their Google Business Profile ads, have any noticeable or correlating impact on their long-term organic reach. With that said, there may be some indirect benefits of doing Google Ads, like getting your name out there. Maybe your business is brand new and nobody knows about your brand. And so by doing Google Ads, what you're really doing is you're controlling when your business shows up and when it doesn't. And by getting more people to become aware of your business, there may be some indirect benefits, but ultimately there's no direct correlation that Google Ads and paid search has a positive impact on your organic business profile rankings. Another local search myth is that reviews is all that matters. All you have to do to get to number one is get more reviews and forget about anything else. Although reviews are absolutely one of the top 3 most important signals of Google, it is not a silver bullet. It is not an automatic formula that if you have more reviews, you win all search results. I have seen countless businesses and search results where a business with less review ranks so higher than a business with more reviews. I've also seen businesses with more reviews rank higher than businesses with less reviews. There is no direct and linear conclusion that we can draw that says that all you need is reviews. Obviously, though, your business absolutely needs to think about reviews as a part of the equation. Reviews help to convert users. It builds social proof. It makes your listing more trustworthy to users, and it also does have an impact on Google's algorithm. But it's not simple enough to say that if you want to get to number one, all you need is just more reviews. The other reality is that Google has a lot of recency bias in reviews. We've been tracking this for a few years now, and what we've seen is that a business who is a 4.5-star business, who has 3 bad months in a row of getting lower than their average rating, actually can see a drop in views or impressions and even actions because Google does have recency bias. They know that if your business has been around for 10 years, that your reviews from 7, 8, 9, and 5 years ago don't have as much relevancy as reviews from yesterday or a week ago or 3 months ago, because a lot can change over the course of time in terms of the quality of a product or a service. And so reviews is absolutely something that you need to be very mindful of and you need to be paying very close attention to, but you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in, all I need is getting more reviews and I will win. That is not going to work 9 times out of 10. One of the most annoying and frustrating local search myths is the idea of geotagging images. There are even platforms and softwares out there that will geotag your images for you, with the idea being that if you can geotag your images and inject some kind of additional data into them, that is going to help you rank higher. The cold hard truth is that Google strips all of that data out when you add an image. Reason number one is because since 2016, they've been using AI and machine learning to actually scan the image for objects and associate those images with keywords. So when you add a picture of a cocktail, when you add a picture of your menu if you're a restaurant, or if you add a picture of a mechanic changing a tire or changing oil, that image actually connects to Google's AI and machine learning, and Google can actually understand basically what's in an image. And so geotagging is ineffective because Google knows that SEOs and spammers are trying to manipulate search results by doing things like geotagging. So what Google does is it takes that data out and then it just objectively looks at what they can see within an image. So the value of images are contextual. It's simply you add a picture of a hamburger, of somebody changing your oil, of somebody getting their nails done, or you cutting somebody's hair, or a doctor in their scrubs or a doctor in their lab coat. And that tells Google more about your business than some manipulated, injected piece of metadata. And so if you're still wasting your time geotagging or even adding keywords and descriptions to your photos, stop. You're literally wasting your time. The most important thing is to get high quality pictures and videos of your business that represent your products and your services and add a high volume of those images. That is how you actually use photos to your advantage, not by geotagging them. Lastly, Google also knows where your business is physically located. You don't need to tell Google where your business is. They have your latitude, your longitude, your street address, your zip code, and your city. You're not fooling Google by geotagging an image saying that you're 10 towns or 10 cities over. That is just a complete waste of time. Another big local search myth is the fact that posts increase your rankings. Google Posts, also known as updates, are Google's version basically of like a social post, right? You can create an update, you can highlight an event, you can create an offer. These are really powerful tools for your business to use and to definitely consider as one of the most important things to activate when you think about optimizing your business profile, but it has nothing to do with your rankings. We have extensively tested putting keywords in posts and seeing how that affects their search impressions. And what we have found is that keywords in posts do absolutely nothing. However, what posts can do and can influence is the engagement rate on your listing. So if you understand why people are on your Google business profile by studying the search terms and the keywords coming into your business profile and understanding your audience, you can then publish content that then resonates and reinforces to users that you are the right choice. So an example would be, I'm Googling for haircuts near me. What would be a really important post to publish is first-time customers get $5 off, because what that might do is convert me instantly from looking at that business profile to picking up the phone and calling them, requesting directions, or making an appointment. And so if you use posts properly, they can help you to rank higher, but the post keywords, the title, the description, have nothing to do with influencing your rankings. But they are a very important piece of a well-optimized business profile when you know how to use them to drive engagement. And so if you're going to post with a purpose. Don't post just to post. Make sure that the content in the post also helps users to actually choose your business over the competition. And so think about transactional and about value propositions that you can present to users while they're experiencing your business profile. And that leads me to my next local search myth, which is that website traffic is the ultimate goal. So many businesses are still stuck thinking, I want to drive website traffic. I want to get people to my website. I want them to fill out a form on my website. I want to get calls from my website. I'm not saying that your website's not important and that that's not a really high value asset that you should be thinking about. But the truth is that 60% of Google searches never leave the search results. Think about it. When you go to search for a business, do you instantly go to their website or do you read the reviews, look at their pictures? If it's a food business, look at their menu. If it's a service business, look at maybe their service offerings. How often do you actually immediately as a consumer go to a website to make your decision? Probably not as often as you think, right? So many businesses, when we talk to them about Maps marketing and about how to think about their Maps business profile holistically, miss this important point, which is that if I don't have to, I don't want to go to your website. If I can make an appointment, if I can make a booking, if I could understand what your products and services are without having to go to your website, you're making it easier for me as a consumer to actually purchase from your business. And so keep that in mind when you're thinking about your goals and your performance objectives. Website traffic might not be the ideal outcome. What you should be looking at is also how many views am I getting to my business profile? How often are those views converting to actions? What actions are people taking? In the hospitality industry, what we see is that more people are going to just simply request directions and walk into your business than go to your website, pick up the phone and call you or make a booking. Obviously, every business is a bit different in how they ultimately transact with consumers, but that's a really big search myth, is that website traffic is the ultimate goal. Revenue and traffic to your business should be the ultimate goal. It shouldn't be focused on any one asset. And if anything, you should be focused on getting more traffic to your business profile because that's truly the homepage of your business on search. Another big local search myth is that NAP consistency is really important. We're talking about a really old school strategy here. If we rewound the clock to 2010, 2012, maybe even 2015, getting your NAP consistency dead on perfect used to have a pretty big impact on your business profile. But fast forward to 2025 and beyond, and it's really a small factor. Mostly because Google has moved towards first party signals. So they're looking at how many engagements is your business getting versus the competition? How well structured is your business profile? What does your photos tell me about your business? Do you have your menu or services listed, right? Google can gain a lot of context and relevance and understanding about your business today in ways that they couldn't do 10 and 15 years ago. And so NAP consistency, although can still be very useful in certain circumstances and is still generally a best practice, doesn't have any major impact anymore. Most platforms and software services in local search today are heavily focused on this network idea of having all your listings published simultaneously and having all your listings being perfectly the same as one another in terms of name, address, and phone number. And again, there are use cases where this is very relevant, but it's not a differentiator. By creating a ton of listings, you are not going to see your business jump up the search results. But it is definitely something that you should still think about doing, but you shouldn't overemphasize or overinvest in because it's going to give you very marginal returns. Certainly, the value of having a platform to connect to multiple listings is simply convenience. There's a value of being able to click one button and change your hours on multiple sites, but it is not a ranking factor that is really important anymore. My last but not least local search myth for today is the fact that doing SEO on your website impacts your business profile rankings. Similar to NAP consistency, website SEO and on-page optimization has a very little to almost no impact on your local search results. This can vary greatly by industry, to be honest. So depending on what industry you're in, you might see more gains than other industries, but at large, like most other things, Google's looking at how well does your business profile perform relative to others? What is your engagement rate? How relevant is your listing from a listing perspective? Do you have all the information needed on your profile to actually gain relevancy? So although Google may still look at your website and on-page signals can still help, again, they're not going to be a key differentiator. Basically, everybody in the world is doing SEO. And so if you really think about it from that perspective, optimizing for your website is a totally different game than optimizing your business profile. When you optimize your website, for example, one of the things that drives drives me crazy is when I see people using the word near me on their landing pages. If you're putting like dentist near me in your page titles, in your page content, and you're thinking that that's helping your website rank when people search dentist near me or restaurant near me or tire shop near me, you are absolutely missing kind of how Google works. So if you're putting those keywords on your website and you're thinking that that's helping your listing or your website rank for searches that have those keywords in it, that's not how it works at all. In fact, near me searches are almost exclusively based on the location of the user and the proximity to your business's physical location in the real world. So if you're doing on-page SEO with the word near me on your landing pages, you're actually missing the opportunity to drive meaningful optimization on your website and to try to get your website to rank in keywords that it may actually be able to rank for. And so by optimizing your website, you are not optimizing your Google business profile at all. You are simply optimizing your website to show up in search results. But to get your business profile to rank higher, you have to do completely different things. So there you have it. Those are my top 8 local search myths in 2025. If your business is ready to stop wasting time and start saving money, check out maplabs.com. Our team can provide you a complimentary audit of your business profile and provide you with actionable insights and strategies that will finally get you to the top of search and getting more customers through your door.